Bryce, so the first question I got to ask is, how much does it suck being back in Hawaii?
Oh my gosh, what a nightmare! No, it's I was texting with Nick, who's in the film as well, plays my nephew, and he was like, I was like, really rough life. I'm already here, and he was like, oh, it's going to be so exhausting. I had to pack my swimsuit. I mean, the pain is only just beginning. I mean, it's amazing getting to be here, and especially to celebrate the release of the Blu-ray and the DVD, and getting to kind of like. That's kind of what, whenever a Blu-ray comes out or a DVD comes out and it's of a movie that I really love, it's so exciting for me because I get to kind of like experience the movie again, and then there's all those like extra features, and you get to kind of check out an even more in-depth perspective of kind of like what the behind the scenes were and all of that. And so being here, being in that mindset, knowing that all that is coming out now, and getting to reflect for myself on the experience of shooting the movie, which really only happened just a little over a year ago. I mean, it's amazing, and it's been an incredible year.
So you were about 12 when the first Jurassic Park came out.
Yeah.
Did you get the full theatrical experience?
I did.
What was that like?
Yeah, so it's so my parents were pretty protective of me when I was a kid, and they wouldn't really let me see movies that were that had any kind of violence or gore or were scary. I had a really overactive imagination as a child, and so they were like, okay, we're just gonna keep it, just sunshine and rainbows. But all my friends were freaking out over the fact that this movie was coming out, and we'd seen the previews in theaters, and I knew all my friends were going to be seeing it opening weekend, and I begged my parents, and what they did was they went and saw Jurassic Park in the theaters opening night, and I distinctly remember this. My dad came home and he said, "This is cinema history. You have to see this movie in the theaters." And so I got to see it Saturday night, and I mean, it kind of changed my life. I mean, not just because over 20 years later, I was going to be shooting Jurassic World. I mean, it opened my eyes to what was possible with cinema, and that you could capture things that were fantastical in a genuinely realistic way. You didn't need that kind of suspension of disbelief that had existed for me previously when I was watching movies. So yeah, it was an important moment for me getting to see that first film in the theaters.
And now you're a part of that world.
Yeah.
And tackling the character of Claire.
Yeah.
Tell me about how you approached this character when you were given the film and you were getting ready to start. What was your perception of her character? Like when you were approaching it, like how am I going to tackle this character? Like what am I going to do with her?
Well, you know what? Something I should cop to was that I got involved with Jurassic World pretty much over a year before we even started shooting, and Colin asked me if I would do it, and I was like, of course, but I didn't read the script for several months because it wasn't yet ready. So partly in my mind, like Colin talked to me about the character, and I was like, oh man, that sounds amazing. But I was sort of like, yeah, I'll read the movie, and I'm probably like just a supporting role, and I should just be grateful for that, and it's not get my expectations, too kind of like too high. And then when I read the script, I was like, oh man, this is a lady that really goes through a lot and really changes. And I was stoked to play a woman like that. Like I was really excited to play somebody who comes from a really kind of corporate, sterile environment and then gets exposed to a world that you would think that she would be familiar with because she runs the park, but she's not at all. And then in that journey, she really finds herself, and she reconnects with her humanity, and she reconnects with her courage and her true sense of power. So it's, you always want to play a character that goes through some kind of a transformation.
Right.
And that is certainly Claire, and I think that's going to continue, in future Jurassic World movies. I think she's going to continue to evolve and change, and I don't know what to expect of that, but I'm really excited to see where she goes.
Colin Trevorrow had actually said that earlier this week, is that this is part of a planned trilogy, and that out of all the characters, yours would have yours would evolve the most.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a lot of pressure for you.
Bring it on. No, it's awesome. It's so awesome. I mean, I think it's yeah, like I said, you know, that's why we tell stories, is to show examples of human beings being faced with tremendous obstacles and either you know, running from those obstacles and facing ultimately, you know, catastrophe, or facing those challenges head on and rising to the occasion and transforming themselves so that they can move through those challenges and obstacles, and that's what Claire did in the first film, and that's what I hope she continues to do. So it's really, you know, it's really awesome.